Hello everyone, my name is Simran from Team Cloudy ML. I welcome you all back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to see the Hangman game in Python and the entire code line by line. So let's begin first by understanding that what exactly is the Hangman game. Hangman is a game in Python wherein you have to guess a word by either guessing its letter or the entire word. And for every incorrect letter or for every incorrect guess, you will have a deduction in trials. Okay, so suppose the word is India. You have to guess this word, and there will be blank spaces like this, five blank spaces for the word India. So suppose I guess the first letter as P. Okay, so P is not present in India anywhere. So my first step would be this. Then next, suppose I guess the letter R. R is also not present in India. So the next step of the hangman will be produced. Again, when I go on guessing, suppose I guess I now. I is present in India, so nothing will happen. Next, again, when I make an incorrect guess, for each and every step, the hangman will be created, and in the final step, our man will be hanged. This will be the end of the game. Okay, so this is a game. We're going to see that how we will code this game in Python, and along with that, we're going to understand each and every basic step and each and every basic function of the language Python. So let's begin. First, this is a function in Python wherein here we have defined the steps as I mentioned over here. Okay, the steps to create the hangman. So function in Python is a group of statements which can be executed again and again. Okay, so suppose the syntax for function is def. Def keyword is used to declare the function and then the name of the function. In our case, if you see, the name is display hangman. This is the name of the function display hangman. Why the name is display hangman? Because we are going to display different hangmans, different stages of the hangman in this function. Okay, and after the name we pass some parameter values. Okay, parameter value, in our case the parameter value is tries. Okay, so what this tries is going to do, whenever suppose we pass the value as 0 over here, so it will be displaying this first hangman. If we pass the tries value as 1, then it will be displaying this second hangman. Okay, so this is the function, and in this function we have defined a list stages. This is the symbol for a list, which is a square bracket. Okay, this is the symbol for a list. List in Python is a collection of objects which could be numbers, which could be strings, etc. Okay, so here we have defined the hangman. See, this is the symbol for a string, and this entire is a single string wherein we have used some symbols to create the first hangman. This is the final stage of the hangman, and this is the initial stage. Okay, this one is the initial stage where the number of tries is 6. In our game, we are going to give total number of tries 6. Okay, and as we keep on guessing, we keep on making incorrect guesses, the number of tries will decrease up till 0. And when you have 0 tries, then the complete hangman will be created and the game will come to an end. Okay, so this is the function display hangman. Okay, and one more thing for a function. See, when you define a function, you give some statements to be performed, and in the end you have a return value. Okay, so in our function display hangman, the return value is the stages tries, which means the hangman structure for a particular stage. Which means suppose the tries we give is 6. So here the sixth index is this last stage. So it will be returning this last stage of hangman. Okay, list list performs indexing. Suppose I have a list 1, 5, 6, 7. So here this is the index 0, this is the index 1, this is the index 2, and this is the index 3. So whenever we want to extract the element on the first index, then what you will do? You will give the name of the list, and in the bracket you will give the index. So what it will do is it will extract the element on the first index, which is 5. So similarly, in our case, we are extracting the stage which is present on the tries index. Yeah, and it will return this stage value. So we've defined this function, and after defining the function, how to call the function, you will simply give the name of the function, in our case, which is display underscore hangman, and the number of tries. Okay, suppose we have 1 tries left, so we will pass 1 in that case. Okay, so this was our first function of this code. Now we will be beginning, we will start with the actual code. This is the predefined code. I'm not going to show it coding to you because just the structures are defined in this case. Now we will begin with the actual coding. So first, we're going to import the random module in Python. So import is used in Python for importing different modules that are predefined and they have particular functions in it. Okay, so import is used to import certain modules and libraries in Python. Okay, and random is a module in Python which is used for mathematical operations and for making random decisions, and it has various functions included in it. Next, we're going to import from words, import words underscore list. So what is this word underscore list? I've created a file. Okay, this is the words.py file. So from this words.py, we are going to import this words list. So why have we created this words list? Because as we know that in our hangman game, you need to guess the letters of the word and complete the correct word. So our code will be randomly choosing any of the word and we have to predict that word. So that is why this is the words list. Our code will only pick the word from this given list. It won't pick any other word excluding from this list. Okay, so when we apply the random.choice function, it will pick up a random word from this list. So that is why this file has been given to you. You can use it when you have this code. Okay, so from words, import word underscore list. Once that has been imported, we are going to code another function, which is the get word function. So what this function is going to do is it will take a word from the list that we just imported, and it is going to store it in the variable word random dot choice word underscore list. So random dot choice is a function which will pick up a word randomly from the list. Okay, and then it will store that word in this word variable, and this is the word list which we are passing as a parameter, which is nothing but this list. Okay, and once it has picked up the word, it will return the word in uppercase. Now this upper function is used on strings. Okay, it is a string based function, and what it will do is it will convert the string into uppercase. Okay. So this is the first function, or the second function that we have created. First is this display hangman, and the second function that we created is the get word. Okay, the next function is play function. Okay, this is the main function, the actual function that that will implement the entire game, and the main logic of the game is built in this function. So define play, and we're going to simply pass the word into it. Word is this word that we have created. Okay. So firstly, we're going to make a string word completion. What this word completion will do is it will keep a track of how much part of the word has been guessed correctly and has been completed. So here what I've done is I've created a variable word completion, and in that variable I've considered length word of blank spaces. What is this length word? It will give you the length of a particular word. Suppose from this list, crust is the word that has been chosen randomly. Okay, crust is the word chosen by the function random. So the length of this crust word will be 5. Okay, because the number of letters in this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so the length of this is 5. And what will word completion do? Word completion, see, this is word completion. Let's abbreviate it as WC. It will create blank spaces of length 5. Okay, so this multiplication, when you multiply it with 5, it will replicate itself 5 times to create empty spaces of length 5, or whatever the length the word is. Okay, suppose the length of the word that has been chosen is 7. So 7 blank spaces will be created. And what these blank spaces will do, it will keep an update of the word completion, that how much part of the word has been completed. After creating this, we are going to create another variable, which is guessed is equals to false. Okay, at the end of the code, when the entire word will be guessed, then this guessed variable will be turned into true. Okay, next we are going to create a list of the guessed letters and the guessed words. Okay, in this list, further on in the code, we are going to store the letters that are already guessed, and ahead we are also going to create guessed words list. In this, we're going to store the words that are already guessed. Now, let's define the number of tries. As I have mentioned before, that the number of tries that we're going to have in this game are 6. So, the number of tries will be 6. Now, let's start with the game. So, first, when you will execute the code, it will print, let's play Hangman. Okay, now this is a print function in Python. Okay, this will print whatever you want on the screen when you execute the code. So when this print statement will be executed, it will print the line, let's play Hangman. Okay. After printing this, we will print display Hangman tries. Okay, if you remember, display Hangman is the function that we have defined below. See, display Hangman tries. So this is the way you call the function in any other function or in the code. So what this will do, it will simply display, suppose I have given the tries as 5, so it will display the 5th stage of the Hangman. Okay, after displaying the stage of the Hangman, we will print word completion, that how much part of the word has been completed. After word completion, we will print a new line using /n. Okay, /n is used in Python for printing a new line. Now after this, let's begin with a new part. While not guessed and tries is greater than 0. Now, from this part of the function, we are going to take user input in the form of guesses. So, Suppose that the word has been not guessed until now, and the number of tries are greater than 0. Okay, when our game will end, the game will end when the number of tries becomes equal to or less than 0, and guessed will become true. That will be the point where our game will end. So what is this while loop? Okay, while is a loop in Python. Loop means in the loop you can put some statements that will execute themselves until a condition is matched. So, for example, while I is less than sorry, while I is less than 3, print hello. Okay, so this is our function, and after printing we will increment I, and first I will be 0. So when you execute this function, what it will do, it will begin with I is equals to 0. It will print hello. Again, it will increment the value of I as we have mentioned here. Now the value of I will be 1. Again, it will go to the while loop. It will check whether I is less than 3. So yes, 1 is less than 3. It will print hello. Again, it will increment I. So I will be 2. Again, it will check with the while loop whether I is less than 3. 2 is less than 3. So it will print hello. Now again, it will increment the value of I to 3. Now, when it goes to the while loop, it will check whether 3 is less than 3. But we know that 3 is not less than 3, it is equal to 3, correct? So then the while loop will break. Okay, this is the function of while loop, that it will execute whatever statements are given into its body until the condition that has been given does not satisfy. Okay, so that is the while loop in Python. So whenever until the guessed is not true and the tries are greater than 0, it will continue the loop. And what is in its body? Now we have the first guess that will be made by the user. Input, please guess a letter or word. Okay, and the input will be converted to uppercase. So what is this input function now? Suppose that as you saw print function, okay, print displays an output on the screen. But what if you want to accept an input from the user? In that case, you will be using the input function, okay, and then this will be printing. When you execute it, it will print, please guess a letter or word, and ahead after that you will get a text box. In that text box you can put your input, and this input will be converted into the upper function to the upper case using the upper function. Okay, so this is the first guess that the user will make. Okay, the user can guess a letter or a word. So how now we will check whether the guessed letter or the guessed word is the actual word or not. So first condition here is if length of guess equal to 1. Now length of guess is equal to 1 means that it is a letter. Okay, and guess dot is alpha. So is alpha is a function which will check whether the guessed letter is an alphabet or not. If it is not an alphabet, then the entire body will not be executed, because in our case we want only letters. Okay, so if the length of guess is 1 and if it is alpha, okay, one more thing, what is the if function? So if else is a very important concept in Python. Like suppose you want to execute some statements based on some conditions. So for example, if okay, let's take an example of even odd numbers. I want to create a program wherein I give a number and I want to check whether it is even or odd. So what you will do is You will accept a user input in the form of the variable num, and then if the num is divisible by 2, then you will print it is even. But if it is not divisible by 2, then you will print it is odd. So this is the function of if else. Okay, you can give various conditions into if and else, and you can manipulate it and modify it according to your code. Okay, there is also another one which is elif. Okay, it can add. We can add it in between if and else. So if the length of the guessed letter or the guessed word is 1, which means it is a letter, and the guess is alpha, which means it is an alphabet, then again we are going to apply an if. Now we will check if guess is present in guessed letters. Then we will print you already guessed the letter. Okay, what is this guessed letter? It is a list wherein we are going to store the letters that are already guessed. So if the word guess, okay, that the user has given as input is present, it is present in the guessed letters, then we are going to simply print you already guessed the letter. Okay. Now elif, as I told you that the function of elif, it takes another conditions leaving the if condition. If guess not in word, then we will print guess is not in the word. Okay, what this is doing, here we are checking whether the guess is present in the word or not. So for example, as we took the example of the word crust, correct? Suppose the word is crust and I guessed the letter A, but we know that A is not present in the word crust. So what it will do, this is the guessed letter, the guess variable that we are considering, and this is the word variable, correct? So it is checking whether guess is present in word or not. Okay, and if it is not present in the word, it will print guess is not in the word, and this is a wrong guess, correct? So our tries will decrement. Okay, the number of tries in our hand will decrement by 1. So at the initial stage we had 6 tries, but now after decrementing we will have 5 tries. Okay, and we will append the guessed letters. Okay, the append function is used to add a new element in a list. Okay, we know that guessed letters is our list which has the letters that are already guessed, correct? So we will be adding a new element guess in this list. So referring to our example, see, A is the incorrect guess, so we will be adding this letter A into the guessed letters list. This is the list. Okay, we will be adding the element A into it because we have already guessed it. Okay, moving ahead to the next step. So we have seen that if we saw two conditions. First, that if the letter is already guessed. Second, we have made an incorrect guess, and third condition will be that we are making a correct guess. So in that case, we will be printing good job, guess is in the word. Okay, this is the thing that we're going to print when we guess the correct letter. And similar to the previous step, we're going to append this guess into the list. Okay. Now, after appending, we also have to show it to the user that how much part of the word is completed. Okay. So what we're going to do is, if you remember, we have created an empty string having the empty number of spaces. Correct. So what we're going to do is word as list. We're going to convert that word completion into a list, because now, see, suppose after this incorrect guess, I make a correct guess as U. We know that U is present in the letter crust. So first my program will print good job, etc. And then it will append U into this list. Okay, here it will be appended. After A, U will be appended. Next step, what it will do, we have to show that at what position in the word completion U is present. We have 5 blank spaces, correct? So we have to fill this blank spaces with U to show that how much part of the word is completed. So what we're going to do is, we will convert this word completion into a list. Then we will calculate the indices or the index at what index this U is present in the word. So I will show you how we are going to do that. Enumerate word if letter equal to guess. Okay, and for index in indices, word as and after that we will join the word completion equal to string. Okay, dot join word as list. Okay, so what we have done in this is, after converting the word completion into a list, we're going to find out the indices or the indexes in the word that we are considering. So suppose in our case we have the word crust. Crust is our word, and see, it is considering for I comma letter in enumerate. For is another loop in Python. Okay, what this does is, suppose we have a list 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to refer or we want to visit or each and every element in this list. So what we will do, we will iterate through the list. So how do we iterate? For I in list, print I. So what this will do is, it will first visit this, then this, then this, then this, and it will print it accordingly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the function of a for loop in Python. So what this will do is, for I comma letter in enumerate word. What is enumerate word now? Enumerate word, our word is crust. Okay, so it will do, what it will do is, it will simply create the indices of this word letter by letter. So it will create pairs like this: 0, C, 1, R, 2, U, 3, S, 4, T. Okay, this is the output that will be created by the enumerate function. And after enumerate, I comma letter will be given to this particular, so this will be I and this will be letter. Okay, and this i's will be stored in the indices list. So our indices will be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, this much part will be carried out in this step. Okay, it will enumerate the word and it will extract the I from this enumerate if the letter is equal to guess. Now it will not extract all of these indices. Okay, it will extract the letter indices for which the letter is equal to guess. Now U is the guess, correct? So it will extract in the indices only the number 2, because this is the index of the letter U, which is the guessed letter. Okay, so our indices will be 2. Next, what it is doing, word as list, index, guess. So what does this mean is, word as list, index is 2, is equals to U, which means the second index of the word as list will be, see, our word as list is this, correct? On the second index, it will add the element U. Our second index is this position, so our new list will be this U, and this will be displayed on the screen. This thing, okay, on the index 2, it will display the element U and it will update the word as list in that form. Okay, and next our word completion will be updated and it will be joined using this word as list. Okay, the join function in Python is used to join two elements or two strings. Okay, so it will join the word as list with an empty space and the word completion will be updated. Now the new word completion variable will be this thing, 4 empty spaces and U at its center. Okay, next what it will do, and this will be displayed on the screen as well. And at the last step, if empty space is not present in word completion, then this step is the final step. Okay, whenever we reach the final step where we have guessed all the letters correctly, then it will change guessed equal to true. Okay, now until this part, we had considered that the guess was in the form of a letter, correct? This step we considered that is in the form of letter. Now in the next step, in the next part, we will consider that guess is in the form of a word. Okay, so for that we are using elif. Length of guess is equal to length of word, which means that it is a complete word, and guess is alpha, which means that it is an alphabet. So we are only going to consider such type of word for which the length of guess is equal to the length of word and it is alphabet. Okay, now here we are going to follow some similar steps to check whether it is a valid guess or not. So if guess in guessed words, okay, if you remember, for the letters as well, first we had checked whether it is already guessed or not, correct? So here also we are going to check whether it is already guessed or not. If it is guessed already, then we will print you already guessed the word and print the word guess. Next, we will check whether it is correct or not. So if guess is not equal to word, what we will do, print, just a second, we will print that it is not correct. So guess is not the word. Here the number of tries will also decrease. and we will append this word into the guessed words list. Dot append guess. Okay, just similar steps we are following, and after considering the incorrect guess, we will also consider if the guessed word is correct. So else print. Just a second. Guessed is equals to true, and word completion will be replaced with the entire word. Okay, the correct word that we have guessed. Okay, now we considered two conditions over here. First, that the guess is a letter. Second, that the guess is a word. And third condition will be the else condition, where the guess is neither a letter not a word, and we will simply print that not a valid guess, because our program will not be able to identify whether it is a letter or whether it is a word. Okay, after having all the guesses, it's time to display the result, okay, of the game. So first we will display hangman, okay, the stages of the hangman for after each and every guess. Okay, this will be displayed after each and every guess. Tries. Along with the hangman, we will also be displaying the word completion after each and every guess. Okay, you will understand how this is working when we execute the code /n, which is for a new line. Okay, and again it will check if guessed, which means if guessed is true, print this is the end line of the game. Congrats, you guessed the word. And you win. This will be the end line. But if you have not guessed, which means if the guess is false, then this will be the end line. Sorry, you ran out of tries. The word was. Okay, here you can display the word as well. Maybe next time. Okay, this will be the end line if you have not guessed the word correctly. Okay, so this was an end of the function play. Okay, this entire is the function play. Here in this function play, the guessing part is executed. Okay, first we check if the guessed part is a letter, then if it is a word, and then finally if it is valid or not. Okay, and now this is the display hangman function. Now we will be creating the main function, which will execute once you begin the program. So word is equals to get word. If you remember, get word is the first function that we created, which will extract a random word from the list. Then play word is the huge function that we just created, which will execute the play part of the game. And now while after playing the entire game, our system will ask to the user that he or she wants to play the game again or not. So play again, and you can give two inputs over here, yes or no. Dot upper, whatever will be the input, that will be converted to dot upper. And if it is yes, if the user wants to play again, then you will begin with the get word function. Okay, this will be the first function that will be executed in each and every execution, and again play word will execute. Okay, this was the main function. So this name will check the name of each and every function, and wherever it will catch the function name as main, it will execute that function only. Okay, so this was the entire code, and now we're going to run this code and check how this game executes or how this game plays. For that, first we need to upload this file, which is the words.py. So you can download this in your system and you can upload it in your collab. Okay, for that you can use this. So it has been uploaded. Now you can run this function. See, okay, as soon as I executed the code or I run the code, you got the prompt as please guess a letter or word. So let's guess a letter. Okay, letter A. See, it has displayed A is not in the word, and see, the first stage of hangman has been displayed. Correct? Now I can guess another letter. Please guess a letter or word. Let's say I guess G. See, G is also not present in the word. The next stage of hangman, it is displayed. Again, please guess a letter or word. H. H is also not present in the word. Now let's say I. I is also not present. P. P is also not present. Okay, so as you see, each and every stage of the hangman is increasing. Okay, and I guess this is the last try. T. Yes, T is present. See, the two blanks have been filled with T. Okay, I can play one more step ahead. Let's say O. See, sorry, you ran out of tries. The word was muter. Maybe next time. Okay, so now I can put yes or no if I want to play again. Okay, so the execution has been completed. So this was the entire code for Hangman game, wherein we saw each and every function line by line, um, each and every step in Python line by line. Okay, we have defined 4 functions, and I've explained each and every function properly. If you have any doubts, you can put it down in the comment section, and you can also try it. You can try the game by yourself, and ahead of this game you can also create an interface for it. It's up to you, and if you have any doubt, put it down in the comment section. Hope you like the video. If you like it, do share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do subscribe it as soon as possible. Thank you.